welcome again to my ongoing series on Afghanistan. Today I am delighted to introduce to you Ehsan Aman, who is an Afghan recording artist, and his wife Sahar Aman, who is the manager, and their company is Fifth String Entertainment. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So great to have you here. When I saw you January 27th at Georgetown University at the big event welcoming Hamid Karzai to all 3,500 Afghans, it was just such a thrilling night.
Very emotional.
People, emotional, everyone applauding and stamping their feet when Hamid Karzai came in. And then, remember the children all dressed in costumes and how they sang their little song. That was wonderful. And then I heard a man's voice, yours, Ehsan. It was wonderful. You sang the national anthem.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about, it's your rendition of the national anthem and how old that is, et cetera.
I believe from what I've been told, it's at least 5 or 6 years old. And then they played the national anthem at the opening ceremony, at the inauguration ceremony in Afghanistan, when Mr. Karzai was elected the interim government leader. So, and then they didn't have any copy of that or the original recording of it. And that's how they contacted me to do the rearrangement of the music. And then in such a short little time, we had to stay awake like three nights and, you know, finish it. And that's how we did it.
Well,
and,
it was wonderful.
Yeah, and a friend of mine, actually, his name is Dag Loman. He helped me with the arrangement of the...
That's right. Well, in your band, you have Dag Loman on keyboard.
On keyboard, yes.
And your brother, Khalid.
Khalid, actually, he's also, in our band, he plays guitar, lead guitar.
Yes.
And Amir, actually, he's my brother-in-law, so this is a very family thing.
Okay. Family affair.
Family affair, yeah. He plays the bass, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it was wonderful that night, and so many tears, and
I know, it was just such an
the
emotional
same
moment. I had
with
tears,
me.
and
Oh, it was absolutely wonderful. And so I'm so thrilled to have you on the show now. Let's talk a little bit about how it all began with you and your singing career. I'm going way back to Kabul. How old were you when you first realized?
Actually, I started, as far as I remember, I started playing music when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I was involved in high school concerts. And then, actually, my father was a big influence in my music career.
Now, how did he influence you?
He was actually he plays good robab, you know, the Afghan traditional instrument.
Oh, okay.
He was very good at it. And then I wanted to play instrumental. I mean,
an instrument.
an instrument. But he said, no, you better sing because your voice, he was telling me your voice is good and you have to pursue, you know, singing.
Well, he knew.
Yeah. And then he coached me all the time, like, oh, you're out of tune, or you repeat that, and basically taught me all the basics of music.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. And then when we moved to Kabul, we actually lived in a province called Helmand province.
Yes.
And
like the restaurant in Cambridge.
Yeah, exactly. Then I finished high school in Helmand province, and then I had to move to Kabul to pursue my you know, college education and all that. That's how I got involved with music and national TV and radio and all.
That's right, because you said that you were on Radio Kabul.
Yes.
And then national TV came in the 70s, I
Yes,
guess,
yes.
Once Mohammed Daoud had
yeah,
taken over
exactly, yes.
the government. And so, and then how long did you sing there before?
Actually, it wasn't too long. It was like for 3 or 4 years, actually. And then the situation was so bad that
When the Russians came in?
yeah, they were forcing all the singers to sing pro-regime, pro-communist, yeah. And I could not take that, and they put me under a lot of pressure, and that's why I had to leave.
Okay. Now, did you go with your family? You
No, alone by myself.
by yourself?
Yeah.
Had your family already left, or had you?
No, they were there. My brother was already in the United States. Yes, so he sponsored me.
Oh, I see.
Sponsored me, but I had to escape Afghanistan through the mountains.
Oh, yeah. Tell me that
Yeah.
story. I want to hear that.
It was just like the movies, you know.
Yes.
You could make a good movie out of
Yeah.
it. But anyway, it was very interesting.
Now, this was 1980.
This was 1980. Yes.
Right, okay.
We had to go travel by car.
2 days by foot?
Actually, no,
No?
it
A
wasn't 2
day?
days.
12 hours.
12 hours.
Yeah,
There was a
12
segment of, it was rough terrain, and then we had to, we could not drive, so we had to cross the border by walking. And then we went to Quetta, and then from Quetta, it took us 2.5 days to get to Peshawar. We had to go through all the close to the border
Because
areas.
Quetta is down in the south, and then
Right,
Peshawar
yes.
is
because
on
that's
the
where
east.
the Office of Refugee was there, you know. So
For the refugees.
for the refugees, yeah.
And so that was quite a journey for
Oh
you.
yeah, I was.
Were you
I
with
wish I had
other
a video
people?
camera with me, or
Were you with
So-
other people?
yes, we were in a group of I think 12 to 15, as far as I remember. It was just a family
And friends.
and a couple of friends of mine actually.
Right. And then you left Sahar earlier. You left in 1978, right?
Yes.
With your family?
I left with my mom and my brother because my dad was captured by the Russians with the Russian regime, yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, with the Russian government. So we waited a year, didn't hear anything from him, and we had to leave
That
also.
whole year of
Yeah.
wondering where your
Yes.
father was.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit. Your father is quite a famous man. Talk about him a little.
He was actually a music teacher and also very famous songwriter who inspired a lot of
Nine Nawaz,
the
right?
his.
They called him by Nine
They
Nawaz.
called him by the nickname Nine Nawaz, and he was
Nine
very
Nawaz.
famous. Yeah,
And what does that mean?
Nine Nawaz actually was
Nai is
It's the
the
flute.
wind instrument, the flute. Yeah.
yeah,
And Nawaz is the player, the musician who plays.
and it goes
yeah.
back in history. There was
It has some sort of a religious and also poetic.
it's a poetic. It has a poetic meaning.
significance, actually. Yes.
And did he write separate poetry, or he wrote songs anyway?
He wrote songs, and majority of his songs he used his own poetry on it, and then some he grabbed from other books. But the artist back then, Ahmad Zahir, who we call the Afghan Elvis, got inspired by many of his songs and got famous by those songs.
And what was his name again?
Ahmad Zahir. Zahir. Yeah, it was the
He's
Afghan
like
Elvis. Yeah.
Elvis, everybody
Yes.
talks about him.
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
It's a big
And,
hero.
Right. And then how did the two of you meet, both with the same musical backgrounds? But
She was a
you
big
were
fan
our-
of me.
Oh,
Fan of me.
really?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
was a
She
big
had
fan of
it
you.
was interesting. She had this little notebook that had all my songs, and the way we play music in more private functions is everybody just sit together on the floor, and then everybody
on carpets?
on carpets,
On
yeah,
carpets.
and they
Oh.
listen to
Cushion.
music. And she was
Comfortably.
always sitting in front of me, and then yeah. And she always used to request, Ehsan, can you sing this? Ehsan, can you sing that? And,
Actually, my
that's
whole
how-
family, my
yeah.
mom loved his
Yeah.
his songs and his voice.
And
And,
this,
Well, I suppose naturally you would be drawn also
Yeah.
to
the musical background,
music.
yeah.
Yeah, she helps me a lot with that. Every time I do a recording, the first critic is
Yes,
She knows a
Zahar.
lot of, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yes.
Because it's always good with somebody else's ear.
And she has a very, very sensitive ear. She always,
She's a
sometimes she
straight
even
nut.
gets mad, you know.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, you're out of tune. You're out of sync. You know.
Yeah.
And sometimes she sits behind the recording console, and she does all some of the recording.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good. So it makes it fun.
It's a
and
very family thing, you know.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I know talking to you ever since, well, we met at the Ritz-Carlton, actually, at that wonderful function for Hamid Karzai on the January 28th, I remember. And I think it was, 28th.
Yes.
And it was so nice meeting you because I had already met Ehsan in front of the embassy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The
that
flag raising ceremony.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
some.
That was another emotional
Oh,
event
it
for
was.
everyone.
Yeah, when the flag was, when they were
They
raising the
raised-
flag, I was like, I had to put my glasses on because I was.
Yeah, that's to talk about
Yeah.
that. That's right,
Yeah.
because that embassy had been closed for a number of years with all the wars, et cetera, that have been
From
going
what we
on.
know,
Yeah.
back in 95 or 96. And so they're reopening it now, right now.
Right. And it was so wonderful with when the Chargé d'Affaires, which is, he really is an ambassador but to the U.S., but because it's not an official government at the moment,
Exactly.
they call him the Chargé d'Affaires, Harun Amin, and he raised the flag.
Yes,
And that was,
yeah.
everyone said how lovely that was of Hamid Karzai to let him do that.
Yeah, it was very nice of him actually. Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
So,
Very nice.
and then we met also in front of the embassy. We met the former ambassador Abdullah Malikyar and
yeah,
his
yes.
daughter Roxanne, and wasn't that
Yeah, it was
wonderful?
it's
He
wonderful.
was so touched by seeing that flag go
yeah.
up again. Oh,
I think everybody out there was in tears, you know, especially.
oh yes, yeah, it was
That was such an
something.
emotional moment.
Well, anyway, so here we are. We just, I know that you're going to be rushing back to do appear on or sing something for the VOA.
The Voice of
Yes,
America,
yeah.
yes.
I've been, they contacted me like 2 or 3 times, and I've been in their studios, performed live.
All around the world.
All around the world, yes. And
They had mentioned that they got a lot of emails.
emails from
and
all the fans. And it
requesting.
was so interesting. I was talking to people, and it was just like a ongoing thing live, and then people were calling me from Mazar-e Sharif. All my fans that I thought that they'll probably, you know, they might have forgotten
Yeah,
about
that's
me,
in
but
the north.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mazar-e
Mazar-e Sharif is in
Sharif
the
and
north.
from Kabul and from some other
Providence
towns,
is
and
the-
all from
that's
Australia,
small.
from Germany. You received calls. And
Iran, yeah, just different people.
Now, was that from seeing you sing the national
Yeah, they were
anthem
requesting.
that evening, or
No, it was
for
before
other-
that. It
From
was
hearing
before.
him, actually, he hasn't been on the TV Voice of
Yeah.
America yet, which they've talked about that also. Maybe in a month or so, they
Right.
want him live on
But you
TV.
have some CDs out there, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And you also have you have one coming out very shortly.
Actually, the video is in the
Video.
form of VHS and also DVD. That's already out, and but their CD that was called "A Walk on the Other Side."
Yeah.
It's supposed to come out in a couple months. They're supposed to
And
be
what
done.
will be on that new one?
It's very different. It's a different style that we are trying to introduce among the Afghan community.
You were
And
saying a
American.
mixture of East,
East
and
and
West.
West, like a touch of jazz and blues with
Yes.
Afghan traditional music.
The Eastern music, yeah.
That
Yeah.
could be
So it's
very
very audible.
interesting.
That way everybody can listen and relate to this music. You know, even the
Right.
Americans,
All around the world.
all the non-Afghan communities.
What was so interesting to me, and I keep going back to the national anthem,
Yes.
I did not know the words, and you sang in Farsi,
Yes.
but it was so emotional, even
Yeah,
though I didn't know the words.
Well, the words are so
Something about
beautiful.
that song.
I've never whoever
Wrote it,
whoever
which we
wrote
don't
it,
know
we,
at
we don't know
the
who
moment.
wrote it, but it's so beautiful and it's so deep, you know, as far as it covers everything. It covers history, it covers religion, and it covers the significance of Afghanistan as far as
And the people.
like the people and everything. It
And at
covers
the end, it
everything,
just,
you know.
it's like a
Yeah.
prayer to God to be with the people and guide them in the right direction.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all
so
a
beautiful.
prayer.
It's so yeah. That's
Yes.
right, yeah.
So,
And I know that you
Yeah.
have got a lot of
And
calls.
the way we performed in that ceremony, the way we performed that national anthem, I started. I mean, as you noticed, just with a keyboard, nothing, and then the actual music came right in between the national
a little
anthem.
bit afterwards. Yeah.
Afterwards, yeah. Just I wanted people to listen to the lyrics,
Yes.
to the words.
And kind of
and
feel
pay
it.
attention.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to bring too much music so that they will just get.
You didn't want to make it too busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, it's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about. Let's talk a little bit about in school, for instance. You studied engineering.
Yeah.
And,
Actually, I in Kabul I finished the College of Engineering and Department of Architecture. You know, I'm an architect. Let's
Yes.
speak of that. And then when I came to United States, job situation was very bad, and I had to work for a civil engineering company, and then I became a civil engineer.
Uh-huh.
So he has a little bit of both.
Yeah, I worked for 13 years as civil engineer, project
Yes.
manager, and then the recession hit, and I was out of job, and that's how I said, no, I have to have something else, and that's how I started music.
Well,
Went back
listen,
to
you
music.
did
Yes,
that.
yeah.
I mean, the actresses and actors wait on tables. So
Yeah,
at least
oh,
you
it was
were-
better, actually.
Yeah, at least you were a
Yeah,
civil
yeah,
engineer.
exactly.
But he shifted back to music, and he's been.
Yeah.
Yes,
Since
and now you're
1993,
quite in
yeah.
demand now. I know that you have a lot of
Thank God.
hopping, oh yes, from one place to another. And we're just lucky to squeeze you in here.
Yeah, it was very nice of you.
Yes,
It
it was
fun.
great. So let's talk a little bit about your next, what your plans are as far as music. I know you're doing this trying
Yes.
to merge this East-West. And is that in your singing as well? Would you be singing
Yeah,
in
different,
English or Farsi?
Actually,
By the way,
there's one
Farsi is the
song.
Persian
Yeah.
language and
Yeah.
Dari is the dialect.
Yes.
The songs were written in English to begin with,
And
to have that touch, actually, the
Yes.
touch of jazz and everything, the
Oh, okay.
freedom of words,
Oh.
as far as arranging the lyrics, and then we translated,
and converted back.
converted back to Farsi.
Oh,
Dari.
Dari, yeah, Persian,
Okay.
actually. And now we will have two versions of the CD, the English version and the Farsi, yes.
Oh.
The English version, we might
Yeah.
pick a few songs and probably send it to radio stations and
And see
see
what happens.
what happens
Right.
with that. And there's
Yes.
one English song inside this particular
Yeah.
CD that's the September 11th song that they made during,
Yeah.
Ehsan made during, his
Yes.
brother actually made it during
it.
the September 11th tragedy.
Oh.
And the song wasn't ready for them to go and perform it on CNN, so they're going to try to take it out on the CD.
okay. Well, that's that would be an emotional one, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. But so you've both been here since 78 and 1980.
Yes.
Do you feel yourself an American or an Afghan? Wow, that's a heavy question.
Afghan American.
Afghan American. That's the
American.
best way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Afghan American.
Well, it's like most Afghans that I've met. You love this country. You've been here.
Yeah.
You love it, but you love your own country as
Yes.
well.
Of course. Of course.
And I think most would go back and help out or whatever, back and forth.
We would do that also. We would
Yeah.
help as much as we can, and hopefully.
Actually, I was like this close to do something to go back. National Geography, you know, magazine. They contacted me.
National Geographic
Yes.
TV actually
Oh,
contacted
Yeah,
okay.
one
us.
contacted me to
Oh,
go, but it was
interesting.
too early, and I wasn't ready, and I had to talk to the guys, you know, the band members.
And at the
And
time, we
then
weren't
yeah,
sure that it was going to be safe enough
safe
to
enough
go
for,
yet.
for us to
Right.
go and perform in such a
All right.
you know, sad situation.
But we love our people, and then
Yeah.
of course we
well,
like
we
to go
are
and
actually.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
in our work scope, you know, to go there. And,
Right, it's
Yeah.
in your blood.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
it's in the plans
In
to
the
go
plans,
there
yeah.
and help
Yeah.
out in any way we can. Yes.
I know, talk a little bit about what your community, for instance, the Afghan community here.
Mhm.
I know that where you are from, the Virginia area,
Yes.
there is a large Afghan community.
Yes.
Whereas here in New England, maybe 80 families, very small
Yeah,
group.
very small. Yeah.
So, would you say that those 3,500 Afghans that appeared for him at Georgetown University were all from the Virginia,
No, actually,
Maryland,
they're from
Washington?
all over.
All over.
They, I know a bunch of people. I mean, they came from California.
Yeah.
They
I
Some
traveled
came from the
just
California.
west.
like I went to
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, they're
Yes.
from different.
New York,
yeah.
California,
all
mostly all
Minnesota,
over
yeah,
Minnesota.
Minnesota, the
yeah.
people that
So
we know, yes.
people who could
Right.
get away and
Yeah.
attended, they
Well,
did.
One of the largest areas that Afghans have settled
Mm-hmm.
now is the Virginia area and Maryland, around Washington, D.C.
Washington Metropolitan, and then there's a large gathering in
California.
California, Los Angeles area, Orange County, and
San
San Francisco Bay Area,
Yes.
and then New York is also a big. you
Right.
know,
They have a
The,
big
the
community.
other interesting thing is that I noticed the Afghans really don't stand out very much as far as, you know, they seem to assimilate very well into the culture. Have you found that?
Yes, they're. I'm proud to say that they're very hardworking, and in very, very short time, they all made a life for themselves and blended in, and
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
yes.
they're very successful.
Yes.
and-
It's a little hard for the older ages,
Right,
like
of
over
course.
the middle,
Yeah.
because
Right. If there was a
they get stuck
sure-
inside the house and stuff. They get bored a little bit, but as far as the
the
rest of
younger,
them,
the younger
they
people
all-
and the young girls, you know, really modern.
Yeah, they
dress,
are
just
very
like-
modern. Yes.
But anyway, we're going to play your video,
Okay.
the child's tear,
Mm-hmm.
Tefel Ashk.
Tifli Ashk, yes.
And it was taken with little bits of shots of children, I guess, around
Yeah.
Afghanistan from the. It's really showing the suffering of the children and your
Yes.
feelings
Yes.
about the suffering
Exactly.
of the children. How did you decide to do this, or did you write the song, or where did the song come from? To begin
Yeah.
with?
Well, the lyrics is by Khalili. You know, yeah. It's very,
Khalili is one of the very
Okay.
famous
Khalilullah
Afghan
Khalili?
poets. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, he wrote. I think he wrote the lyrics during the war in Afghanistan. And then,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all about the horrible situation
Right.
at that time.
But
And then,
anyways,
but we mix that with the video clips of children. I just wanted to dedicate this to the situation of
Right.
children in
And our
Afghanistan.
that's
friends.
lovely.
Yes,
So
yes.
we're going to, we want to show our audience that. So
Yeah.
if you would please roll that, we'll be back to you in a few secs. Well, That was wonderful. That was
Thank you.
just lovely.
Thank you.
I'm so glad we could show our audience that. And it's just been absolutely such a pleasure to have both of you on.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you very
Sahar
much.
Thank you for
and
having us.
Thank you.
Good to be
Ehsan,
here.
Aman.
Good to be here.
It is wonderful, and boy, I'm ready to get up and dance. Okay, so,
Thank you.
and thank you again for watching the Mary Lou Bigelow Show. We'll see.